Hello, today is Monday, June the 29th. I am Michael Ramone, your state representative, with your daily report. The numbers are COVID Delaware is up to 110 days past. 29 days since we've reopened the state. We're at 11,226 COVID positive cases in Delaware, 4,925 of which are in Newcastle County. We're at 95,120 negative cases, and we have 6,665 recovered people from COVID, from being COVID positive. We have 78 people in the hospital, 14 in critical care, 507 deaths, 242 of those were in Newcastle, and we still have not had any deaths in the 21st. Thank you for that. Of the 135 new cases since the last report, approximately 112 cases came out of just recently the Bethany and Dewey tests. I think about 100 were in Bethany and about 12 in Dewey. As far as the hospitalizations since last week, we are now down one more. And as far as critical beds being used, we are also down one since last Monday. Yesterday, we had our first Sunday evening coffee. However, we were outside. We had safe spaces initiatives in place. We were lucky that Donna Watson was kind enough to provide us with free masks for those who needed them. We gave out free hand sanitizer in the little mini spray bottles. But we cut down on the snacks and all the other foods, mainly because we didn't want everyone congregating in one place and touching things with different people. We did provide drinks by cans. All the adjustments were wonderful, and it was all we could do to make sure we were instituting safe space initiatives. God actually helped us. He came out at around 6 o'clock and gave us a little sprinkle of rain. So even though I had scrubbed down all the chairs, we had the opportunity to re-wipe them all down within 30 minutes of the event. I don't know how we could have had a cleaner, infection-free environment, and it was truly a community event. So thank you all for being there for that. We had two first-timers come to our meeting yesterday, the attendees, those two attendees were the highlights of the evening. One was a child, a young lady, Chloe, a 7th grader from Wilmington Christian, who came to ask, Mr. Ramone, are we going to be able to go back to school in the fall? Truly helped all of us at the beginning of a meeting there remind us each of why we're there and what we're actually trying to do. That next generation, our children, our grandchildren, are the ones that we need to create a safer, better Delaware for, and hopefully we will continue to remember to do that. We were also joined by Kathy Thompson. Kathy is the president of the Red Clay School Board. She helped our community understand the proposals that are being made by two of the board members to eliminate the SROs, safety resource officers, the policemen in the schools. A topic and proposal to do so is going to be voted on at the July 8th Red Clay School Board meeting. So I would suggest call Kathy or email her or any of your school board members in either direction if you're in favor of or against such an initiative. The proposal would actually eliminate SROs and try to direct that money to be used and enhance other initiatives like counseling and mental health. I'm not sure that the Red Clay School Board is actually allowed to move the money around like that. I think some of the restrictions are with the state, but we're going to look into that and see what support they would need to be able to do whatever they felt was appropriate. Kathy's knowledge and attendance was just extremely helpful. It was a professional in the room on the topic to help. And most of the questions that came out were about that. So I'm very thankful to Kathy, and I am very, very appreciative of her help to our attendees. Some other concerns, questions, and statements that came up out of that particular meeting. We go around the entire community there. We had 23 something people in attendance. Everyone said a little something. I'm going to summarize very briefly the roles of the police, not just in schools, but outside of schools. The SROs, safety resource officers, what do they do in the schools? The fact that we funded all that in the referendum, does that have anything to do with any of this? And what is the safety in the schools, especially for teachers and children in certain events? We spoke about the Red Clay School Board meeting on July 21st. There's 2 different seats up, and each of them have 3 people running. So please do your research and participate in that process. If you don't participate, you can't complain. So it's it. Of course, our question from Chloe about the schools returning in the fall and what that would look like. We talked about the removals of the statues in the city of Wilmington by the mayor. We talked about safeties of teachers, as I mentioned. We talked about a pump track that went up and whether it will be expanded or not in our district. We talked about how we train our officers, what we do. We talked about the value of retired officers. We talked about giving schools more flexibility in using the monies that the state gives them to spend as they see fit. And we also talked about all the community needs, sort of the maintenance, drainage, signs, potholes, all the things we normally bring up. And then I usually send those reports in to get everything addressed as far as maintenance and repairs. As everyone noted, it was nice to be able to meet again in a safe environment in public. Everyone was very, very excited to be out and about. The meeting went on a little longer than we thought, but fortunately that happens to be one of the longest Sundays of the entire year, so we had daylight almost to the end. We can all be part of the solution that we are facing to manage the COVID outbreak. So if we don't want to follow the safe space initiatives, then don't go into a public place where they need to be enhanced. You can be in your home, you can be in your car, you can be wherever you want, and if you don't want to wear your mask, don't wear your mask. But if you go out in public, I would please urge you to please follow the safe space initiatives. I think we got a little lazy down the beach, and we need to get back into that practice. So please do your part, be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem, just wear the mask. Today, the General Assembly returns for our final 2 days of session. The House will pass grant and aid and the bond, and I have a new little visitor here, so I can bring in Wendell into our shot because he just raided the room. So tomorrow we'll be closing out that 150th General Assembly. So we will be passing the bond and the grant and aid bills, and we have done an enormous job to save Abu. I am called Abu. Anybody who watches Aladdin knows that's the monkey. That in itself can summarize the entire meeting for today. But I'm hopeful the next 2 days are successful in the General Assembly. I'm very, very hopeful that we get to close everything out in a nice, quiet fashion on July the 1st. And until then, please stay safe and stay healthy. And Wendell, say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.